All right. Peace, peace. You know what I'm saying? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Con science are crazy for the people, but conscious are crazy. That's how it go. But with knowledge, am I with knowledge or am I crazy? You know what I'm saying? You asked the question. I'm saying got a got an important guest, man. Definitely member of the family, Vibe Equals Tribe movement. Definitely love what he doing. Yeah, and I think he representing Texas as well. You know what I'm saying? He and representing Texas doing
No,
it.
I'm representing New Orleans. I'm from New
New
Orleans,
Orleans.
Louisiana. You feel me? I live in Texas, but
Mm,
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I represent that 504. You already know. Stand up.
504. Salute,
Yeah, I'm about to.
salute, man.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, man. In a sense, knowing what's right and what's wrong. Versus a mentally sound mind. Been doing this for a couple years, man. Important conversations with members of the family, man. Definitely, it's necessary. It's a lot of lies going on. They've been, his story versus our story. His story. You know, but yeah, man. But I let him
got you covered.
introduce. Go ahead, introduce yourself to the people, and definitely we going there get cooking. Definitely.
Yeah, we about to get it popping. So, boom, infinite love, eternal truth, and peace way to you. I come to you in the name of the Creator God, through the precious elements of fire, earth, air, water, and ether. I am Reverend Rance Dunbar, the Chakra Doctor. You can catch me on Chakra Doctor TV on YouTube. Catch me Chakra Doctor. Just Google Chakra Doctor. I'm very Googleable. I am a natural holistic healer. I am a full-time black business owner of my own esoteric occult brand. I am also a pastor and reverend of my own online Christian church,
Mm.
and that is a unification in itself. Um, definitely, I'm definitely one of the people to holler at if you're looking for vaccine exemptions. If
Mm.
you're looking for, I am definitely one of the people to holler at. And yeah, man, the brand, all of the things I do go way beyond that. Y'all can catch me on chakradoctor.org. CHAKRADOCTOR.org. Or you can call me at 818-429-1675. And we can get it popping, y'all. Let's go.
Hey, peace to the family. Hey, love gang in the building. Salute to the family. Salute. Yeah, yeah,
All,
yeah,
all
man.
day.
Oh, yeah, man. So I guess to start it off, man. When did you walk into your knowledge, man? Because yeah, man. Some people, of course, we have different journeys to it, and yeah, man. How did you walk into your knowledge, man? Before we get into it, definitely.
Um, so my walk came in bits and pieces. My walk didn't come in one fell swoop. Like I know a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people have that. I know a lot of people who come and be like, "Yeah, man, I was sleeping." Then Chakra Doctor came and boom, I've been woke ever since. Right?
Yeah.
Well, mine was a little bit more complicated than that. You know what I mean? In the fact that I grew up real heavily religious,
Oh yes.
and my mom was religious, and my dad was religious, but my mom was pagan as well. But her religious ideology sometimes trumped her her paganistic logistics, right? And so, uh, you know, that was the beginning stages of it, just getting spirituality, or what one might call spirituality, through religion, and getting it through, these sources called the Bible and the Quran, right? And so when I used to read those stories, I used to believe those stories. Like I believe, the man walked on water and
Oh
you
yeah.
know died, came back. I was like, word,
Like,
damn, that's
man,
so.
he's amazing. Like, yo, who's this? It's like, yeah, exactly.
You so there was not one time that I would, there was not a time in life that I thought, well, oh man, this is an even bigger and deeper thing. You know what I mean? You just do what you're taught and you keep it pushing, right? And
Exactly.
so, um, when my mother passed away when I was 16 years old, um, she, that left a big old gap of learning opening for me. I mean, my main teacher and my main disciplinarian was gone, and now that position had to be fulfilled, right? And that position got fulfilled by what I call me, right? And me going out trial and error learning. And boy, did I trial and did I error and did I motherfucking learn? Did I
Oh,
do it? Did I do it? And you know, with that being said, I always take it to the point and take it to the fact of, wait a minute, I went through these things for a reason, number one, and then with that with that knowledge, I have to acknowledge the reason why I had to acknowledge the reason why I did these things, or why these things happened to me per se, right? A lot of us sometimes we go through a lot of hardships, not realizing that we're built for the big leagues, and we're steadily, trying to stay in small ponds when we're meant to swim in big oceans, you
oh
know.
man, yeah.
And that I was one of those people. I was a big fish in a small pond. You know what I mean? Meant to be swimming in the ocean with the whales and the sharks and the best of the, aquatic creatures. Um, but me, we sometimes we get complacent and we get comfortable in our little pond. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
comfort is dangerous. Yeah, man. Definitely,
And
man.
until the little piranha start biting at your big fish ass like you food, and then you say it's time for you to go, swim in other, in deeper waters.
Exactly.
Um, Keyword deeper. That's something that's crazy how when we apply something spiritual or we apply something, metaphysically profound or revealing, we call it deep. Damn, that's deep,
Yup.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one thing that again shows us in nature that this shit all was started with the water, like they told you in the Bible. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
um, the deepness and the depth. It's the depth of a thing. It's the deepness that really, gets to the bottom. Surface, that's cool.
Yeah, surface.
Surface,
Mm-hmm.
surface, you're okay. But it's the depth, how in deep, you know what I'm saying? How in depth that shows the real, real you, the real what you're willing to do, what you're willing not to do, what you're able to handle, what you're not able to handle. And that's how I judge things as a person. How deep is a person willing to go with me? That shows me how deep a person is willing to go for me.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're not willing to go that deep with me, then you're not willing to go that deep for me. You
Exactly.
understand?
Yeah.
If a person has trouble, if you're having trouble with a person, right? If you're having trouble with a person in a certain area, analyze. Wait a minute, am I giving this person the the in depthness that I want? Do I even want to be this in depth with a person, right?
Exactly.
Um, yeah, but it's the deepness. It's the deepness that lets you know who's here to stay and who's here to go. The ones who are here to go, you're not gonna know them that deeply.
Mm. Oh yeah,
The
definitely.
ones that's here to stay, you're gonna know them deeply in a way that nobody has ever known them before.
Oh yeah, definitely got to get those. Yeah. People here for a season. Definitely get those out of here. Yeah, definitely. And I definitely relate to the pine reference, man. Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely got to make bigger moves and versus yeah, it's all about growing, evolving, and then you involving in a small space. That's easy. Like you comfortable at a point. I'm saying. You could be hooping like you in ninth grade, you playing eighth graders, it's gonna be easy. You playing seventh graders, you supposed to get 50 points easy. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? But yeah,
right.
yeah, man.
That's that's the gist of it, man. So I had a few things, that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, right? It's basically like a continuation of what I just did and what I was just talking about on Jay Marvelous's channel, right? I'm just continuing on the talk, right? And it's about how our perception of time affects
Mm,
approach to life and our reflections to growth,
mm,
right? A lot of us have a lot of us don't have control of time. We don't know how to manage time. We
ooh,
don't know how we don't know how to manipulate time. We don't know how to bend time. We don't know how to stop time, right? We do not know. We are not the masters of the clock.
mm.
And it is the of the clock that wins the championship. It is the master of the clock that wins the game. It is the coach that knew to call the timeout because this was going to save his team 30 seconds in that timeout that gave his team 30 seconds of breathing. So guess what? Now that team is going down to the end zone, going down to the Super Bowl, right? Those of us who are great managers of time, we have a deep perception of what, who, when, where, and how, and why time is. You feel me? But the thing I want to show people is that what is your perception of time? Are you living in a life where you never have enough time? Are you living a life where you always have too much time? There's another life where you're living your life and you're making the greatest and the most out of every single piece of time.
Oh yeah, that's the right one to me. You know
but the majority of people are living in a perception of there's not enough time.
Oh, you're waking up late.
Or somebody's living in the perception of there's too much time. If you see people always sitting around bored with nothing to do, they got too much time on their hands.
Oh yeah, too much.
When you see a person who always who's always talking about they never have enough time, right? That means they done took too much on their plate and they mismanaging their time by all of the things that they took on. But see, when you see every time you see this person is always great. This person is always happy. This person is always balanced. This person is always in control. They've cracked the code and the key on how to manage time. Father, time. Time is what seals you in this body. You will be in this body for a time being. You're not a human being. You're not a motherfucking. You are a time being. Okay? You are a being held down and bound by time. And how you manage that time will determine how great or not great of a time you will have. Right? All our perception of time. What do you think about what do you think about what you got to add value with that, bro?
Oh yeah, that's deep. Yeah, man. Like you mentioned, your perception of time, pretty much represents if you feel like you have a great time or not. That's deep because people always I have no time. I'm always, it's something to think about, management of time, and definitely balance is key. Me being a Sagittarius, you know what I'm saying? Balance is necessary, like 2 times for me. Oh man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, we all over.
Partner Sagittarius and got a lot of Sagittarius energy going around, life. And believe it or not, Sagittarius are not notorious, time mismanagers.
That's a bar.
Technical. A lot of the Sagittarius I've met, Sagittarius I've met are actually great with time. Because people think being on time means you got to be there right there on the dot. No, being on time means a consistent basis and pattern of showing up at specific.
Exactly.
No matter what that specific key moment is, you have to be able to be show up, because that's going to create a skill for yourself that is called dependability. And you are dependable.
Oh yeah.
And when you are dependable and others can depend on you, you then begin to gain control of the time. Why? Because what is now we're about to get into another level of time. And what is that time? Right? Well, wait a minute. What about when it's reversed? Remember, right now I was just speaking from the perspective of how we view the time. Right? We either mismanaging the time at the first time, or we balancing the time.
Waking up, it ain't no more time in the day. You could have woke up before.
Nobody ever stopped to think about what time thinks about us.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Everybody always talking about time, but nobody has a true relationship with time.
Yeah.
Everybody's either scared of time, running from it, wishing that they had more, or everybody trying to. everybody trying to hoard it and get too much of it.
Exactly.
Nope. But nobody ever stopped to think about, damn, what does time think? And now we talking. Well, when you look, the saying goes, time is against you.
Ooh. Exactly. Running at the clock. Like, yeah, time is against you. Yeah.
You were, hey, listen,
Shot clock.
you can't put in too much time called overtime. Nigga ain't trying to go to overtime. Niggas ain't really trying to go to no overtime. Job ain't really trying to pay overtime.
Yeah.
Time is your opponent. Time is your adversary. Time is Satan.
Ooh. Oh man. Yeah, we cooking now. Yeah. Yeah.
You are an infinite, immortal essence that does not need or is not held down by the rules of time.
Exactly.
The minute that infinite, immortal I am essence decides to come and live a material life, is the minute that immortal essence says, okay, Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream. I'm about to come live in your world. Yep. I'm about to come live in the world of time.
Yeah, definitely preaching, man.
And I'm about to show you, Mr. Time. I'm about to show you, Satan, how to get thee behind me. You know what say, put the past times behind. You gotta let go.
Yep. That's why people,
you gotta always keep looking forward to the goal in the future. But while you're always looking forward to the goal in the future, you gotta constantly stay aware and present in the now.
In the now, yeah. Yeah.
Man. And these are all, and this is the Trinity. Remember, keep people talking about the Father, Son, Holy Ghost. No, let's call it a spade. Past, present, future. Time.
Those who control the past control the present.
Those who control the present control the past and the future.
Exactly.
You can't control the past if you're not controlling the present.
Oh yeah, definitely can't.
The people who are suppressing the information, they're suppressing the information right now. It's not no past shit. We could go on some past shit and look and see they was doing it then, but no, let's look at what's going on right now. They doing it today.
Oh
we
yeah.
Ain't gotta wonder.
Ain't nothing changed but the date. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say.
They mean ain't nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
They ain't say above, they say under.
Yeah.
Below. Ain't nothing new below on the bottom plane. It's just it's a circulation of recycling, right? So time, our perception of time will affect how we approach life. If we have a negative perception of time, I don't have enough time. We will approach life, and life will approach us, and time will approach us in a negative way.
Exactly.
Approach life with the perception, I have all the time in the world. I'm having the greatest time of my life. Times can't get no better than this.
Exactly.
I am always having the greatest time. My times are filled with infinite amounts of joy, wonder, love, laughter, praise, worship, and all of the things that are meant for me and my good. I am infinite. I am eternal. I just transcended time. In this physical body. Guess what time does? Time says, God damn it, you figured it out, huh, boy?
Infinite, yeah.
Let me show you. Let me open some doors over here right there. It's gonna look like you blew up overnight. Well, no, that was just a play on the time.
Yep.
But we have to realize that time is against you. Time is Satan.
Man,
against the opposer. Okay, and remember and we got to understand that Satan, time, is not a bad thing. Like we like to classify, it's evil. Well, evil spelled backwards is live. So if we didn't have evil, we wouldn't live. I keep telling people that the demonic world is in control of the physical.
Yep.
This
They saw,
water,
yeah.
this water is physical. This water is demonic. Physical water. You know when this water becomes spiritual?
Exactly. When it
No, do you know when this water becomes spiritual?
When it enter infinite beings. Elaborate.
This water becomes spiritual when fire hits it and it evaporates into spiritual air. Spiritus.
Oh yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Salute to the family, man. They was ahead of the game. People missed it just by the name alone. They already knew the science.
This water becomes spiritual. Until then, this water is a demon. Until water is a demon, demonic, meaning DE means demoted, meaning lesser than.
Lesser than.
Okay. Man. Meaning the Lord, lesser nature of man. Demonic. And the lesser nature of man are found in your first three chakras, your root chakra, your sacral chakra, and your solar plexus. Okay. That's your first, that's called your lower self. That's the part of you that keeps you what? Grounded. Down on the ground, earth. Last time I checked, earth is a demon.
Facts.
Physical. Now, demon is not bad or good. Physical. You know what makes things bad or good? The meaning that the human being, the time being, puts into it. We put meaning into church. So if something happens to it, you're not really disrespecting church. You're disrespecting the meaning I put into it. And why? Why is there meaning into it? Because I spent time researching this shit. I spent time reading and writing this shit. I spent time getting this degree. I spent time putting in this motherfucking work at this business, at this job, at this company, at this YouTube channel, at this. I spent time, and therefore it has meaning.
Time equals grind, and people scared of, time. Time is always, I feel like putting time in always represents, someone evolving or, doing something different.
Satan is the necessary evil. Evil is necessary. That's why it's live spelled backwards.
Live, yeah.
See? Evil is necessary. Without evil, you won't even know how good you truly are.
Facts. I'm a fire sign. I understand.
How good do you know you truly are? How good would you know you truly are if there wasn't a little evil in the game? I always keep reminding them. Lived is devil spelled backwards. How truly of a God or angel will you know that you truly are if you didn't have a devil sitting there opposing you? And remember, what's the devil? Your body. Ooh, what's the devil? Your mind, your brain. Why? It's all physical. Your brain is physical. Devil. Your body is physical. Devil. Your skull is physical. Anything that you can taste, touch, see, smell, or hear, my nigga, welcome to hell.
Oof, bar.
If you can taste it, smell it, or hear it, nigga, the devil is in control of it, nigga. And the devil is a lie. And it is true because in actuality, it really exists. It's just an illusion of what can be, what will be, what could be, because it's always ever changing. And that's why it's not permanent. So therefore, but it's a necessary lie.
Exactly.
It's a lie that teaches you the truth.
You said Satan represents time, and time, we already know. Yeah, so it goes hand in hand. Yeah,
remember, Satan is the timekeeper.
And they always say, that's the devil is a lie. You know what I'm saying? Time is illusions.
Time, we're basically saying time is a lie. There's something called eternal.
Oh yeah, and then y'all broke down eternals.
That's called no time. Listen, time is ready. The devil, ready? You ready? The devil, things. That's the devil, things. Anything. Devil. High. Thing. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? That's the devil. God, no thing. God, no thing.
Exactly.
Devil, thing. Devil is something, God is nothing.
Yeah.
See? Sacred, you ready?
Yeah.
Sacred feminine, no thing. Divine masculine, something.
Mm.
See?
Yeah.
People still don't understand nothingness yet because they still are bound by the constricting rules of time.
Mm.
The constricting rules of time shows you why you haven't been able to grasp infinity yet, because in actuality, when you are trying to grasp infinity, you're trying to grasp nothingness.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing can't be grasped. It can only be lived, felt. You can only be no thing.
Mm.
Be nothing. What the fuck you mean? Yup. Y'all want Chakra Doctor, what do you represent? Chakra Doctor, what do you advise us to be in life? Be nothing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
watch
exactly.
how
I mean, exactly similar to, the Big Bang. It was nothing but silence and peace, and all of a sudden,
all of a sudden, all of a sudden, Ra arose from the waters,
Mm.
bearing the gift of light.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
We talked about deep, people don't understand, Atlantis, how advanced Atlantis was, and as we know, pyramids, are at the bottom of the ocean.
That's the black indigenous people's ancestors, the Atlanteans.
Exactly.
The Atlanteans and the Sumerians, those are our closest relatives, not the Africans, like y'all been led to believe. Not the Africans, y'all. I'm Native American, Choctaw, Chippewa. You ain't gonna be able to pull that one on me now.
Even though people said he's Kenyan American.
500,000. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't show me one. I don't believe that lie.
Yeah, man.
Remember, our history, they're only talking about a 400. That's not even they're only talking about a 400 and something history, right? So think about it. That's not a long time.
That's hell no. That's a blink.
400. If you're trying to tell me you transported in 400 years, and remember, they didn't do it in 400 years. They're saying 400 years overall total. They're saying in a span of 100 to 200 years, they transported a whole 100 million to 200 million Africans from one place to the next, and you had 500,000 slave ships to do it, but you can't find, and you ain't got a record of 500. That's like a nigga said they had 500,000 Toyotas, and you can't find one on Earth. I had 500,000 Toyotas. Yeah, where they at? Man, what happened was,
yup.
Even if they got put into the junkyard, you still be able to go find out. Nigga, out of them 500,000, at least one of them still made it.
Exactly. Time they manipulated, of course, like the calendar. I got the real calendar. Salute to Crumb TV. The ancestors. The real timekeepers. Yeah, it's crazy how they shifted things, and like I exposed on your live, like September 1752. It was February 2nd. It was February 14th. It skipped. So it's like, where did 12 days go? Wait a minute.
like the time that we're in right now. Like this is the year that the Illuminati was created, 248 years ago, right? This is people don't understand. Like, no, this is a important time with that. Me and Crumb was just talking about that on his channel. The 222, go check that out on Crumb TV. That 222 video.
Yo, it's actually a movie called 222. 222 too. It's deep.
I got it.
Deal with astrology and all that. It's deep.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna give it away too much.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about on Crumb TV. We were talking about 222 and how this Pluto return that's happening right now, that's giving America this makeover that she so greatly needs and truly deserves. America definitely deserves a makeover and needs a makeover. And the one thing I want to point out, on that with this 222 energy that's coming up, man, is a very, very heavy sacred feminine energy. It deals a lot with It deals a lot with what one might call your physical energies, your physical presence, your physical structures, your physical ways you interact, the physicalities of life. Right now is the perfect 2022 is the perfect year to get every material aspect of your life in on and together. It's just gonna fall in place naturally, simply because
the zero.
This is the year. This is it, but you're not gonna be able to just do it, without putting in your work. There's gonna have to be a Bonnie and Clyde, or it's gonna have to be a Siskel and Ebert, or it's gonna have to be Charlie's Angels type of a thing going on, because in the end, when it's all said and done, there's gonna teamwork make the dream work. You don't need no big stupid retarded team. You just need a nice foundation of core membership.
Exactly.
The core, and remember that's the true 1%. The core membership. Like members of government come and go. Remember the Bible said, kings and queens remain and fall. Kingdoms, they fall and they come and go. But the earth shall abide it forever. Right? So the earth, the goddess, is the one that's infinite. We came here to experience on her. Right? I always tell people, man, where y'all from, man, y'all tell you, it tells you where you're from. You are the children of light. You come from the stars. What you mean you come from the stars? No, literally, nigga, you come from inside of stars.
Exactly. That's why so many stars are missing. If you look at the sky, you don't see too many stars because we reflect light. Yeah.
It's cloaking. So for it, consider a star a house.
Exactly.
Right? The lights ain't gonna be on in your house 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So certain stars you're not going to be able to see at certain times simply because all of the lights not on in that particular house. But that don't mean that motherfucker disappeared out the sky or, anything like that. But the thing that everybody's missing, you ready for the kick that everybody's missing? Everybody's missing that the stars that you see in the sky are just a holographic reflection of the actual inner stars that are inside of you. Just conundrum. When you're seeing things. What you're actually seeing is a physical representation of what's going on inside of your inner environment. And this is why your outer environment looks, feels, acts, walks, talks, and treats you this way. If there are things that are going on in your physical environment that you don't like, check your insides. Clean your insides. The inside of your emotions, the inside of your mind, the inside of the in-depth of your intuition. Clean it. And watch how it starts resonating on the outside. I always tell people, once you get into the perception of beating time, so let me show them. So let's get to that part. Beating time, bending time, wielding the power of time, basically becoming and using the power of Satan. Okay, harnessing the powers of Satan, because y'all, for some reason, y'all keep thinking that. Everybody keep thinking that you're here to serve the gods, when in actuality, in this game, the gods are here to serve you. So remember, a god ain't shit without a motherfucker praying to him, saying, "Hey, God, can you do this for me, please? Can you do this for me, God?" If you ain't doing that, then what the God existed for? Why the God of water if he ain't providing no damn water, nigga? He's here to remember. It's a feeding mechanism. We serve one another. We worship one another. All right. So and remember, I gotta let y'all hear that rap. So that's a crazy song, And he says, he was thanking his creator for creating him, and his creator thanked him. Nah, nigga, you created me, right? Basically showing you, and that's what's on that's what's on more than just the walls and halls of Egypt. And just speaking of that, let's talk about the pyramids that on this side of the world that predates the Egyptian pyramid.
Exactly. There's so many. It's crazy.
Let's talk about the civilizations on this side of the world that predates Africa, nigga. See, y'all don't want to talk about this real shit.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all want to talk about this over from Africa shit when they got data that shows you that we was over here before Africa really got popping, nigga.
Exactly. Africa was just a place that we freak with. We visit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's just one of several.
Our cousins, that's our family, that's our relatives. That's keyword, not family. That's our relative. Family how you treat me. Family is how you treat me. But that's our relatives. But stop acting like everything started and stopped over there, like my yacht was only found over there, nigga. And if you want to be technical, there are early texts that show you my yacht started over here with the Olmecs. But we ain't gonna get into that technology because that's a whole nother level.
Yeah, you feel me? The oldest woman, the oldest woman that lived, she was found in South America. You know what I'm saying?
South America, Africa, the old. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they found this in America, bro. So I don't know. You know, this narrative that, like I told you before, this narrative that we're being told and sold is to get us off of this land.
Oh yeah.
They want us off of this land, and they'll do anything to make sure that we're off of this land. They want us to, man, remember, motherfucking Cherokee Indian told you that you was African American.
Oh yeah.
Jesse Jackson is a Cherokee Indian.
Jesse.
And he told you was an African American. Now, what the hell a Cherokee Indian telling you were African American?
And you should listen to him. He got King lined up, but we know that. We know that.
So,
yeah, exactly.
You know how the game. You know how the game go, man. It's a doggy dog world when you're trying to pedal consciousness, and that brings the next part. Like greater is he that lives in me than he that lives in the world. People don't understand the context of that phrase. The he that lives in you is a divine masculine. This is why a lot of y'all are able to easily identify with the divine masculine. The body that encloses the divine masculine, that's the sacred feminine. Every single aspect of your body that the divine masculine energies and frequencies uses is literally feminine. Why? Because feminine is the receiver frequency, masculine is the giver frequency. Your spirit comes into the body. Keyword, comes into the body. Like a seed goes into the ground. Your spirit gets planted into this body. The body is of what they say the body is made of what? Earth. This body is earth and water.
And your skin. Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Hands and your skin are made of remember, earth and water are the two sacred feminine principles. Air and fire are the divine masculine principles.
Yep.
All right? Now, earth and water. Your body is composed of earth and water, sacred feminine. Right? But your inside of that body, the I am, the true you, that's your divine masculine heritage. Remember, two things: the light of fire inside of you and the breath that fuels. The breath of life fuels the soul. The breath of remember, what fuels your soul? Your breathing, air. Air, your soul is made of fire. You're breathing oxygen and all of the molecules to feed the fire. Any questions? Shit is simple.
Mathematics, man.
Mathematics. I'm breathing in air. Those molecules from the air, the subatomic particles, molecules from the air, are feeding my soul, aka my chakras. My chakras are now able to function and make this body animated and move through oxygen and hydrogen and all of the other elemental components. But it's my breathing that I don't look at. It's my breathing. Remember, you control your breathing. When they say you're able to control your breath, they say you're able to control your emotions. Your emotions, again, energy and motion. That's the fire.
Yeah, energy plus motion. Yeah, emotions. Yeah.
Remember, emotions keep you held and bound in time.
And through meditation.
Yeah, emotions keep you caught in time.
Oh yeah, and through meditation, DMT, is created in our lungs. People don't know that.
Yes, when you activate I tell people all the time. A lot of the time that people be reporting to me during FCA yoga, the reports that they report to me, it'd be the same shit that happened to me when I was on DMT. Yeah. So I know for a fact that euphoria and psychedelic properties are found in activating your chakras and doing meditative work, right? And so, we need to first and foremost, greater is he that lives in me. They wasn't lying to you. The he that lives in you is the spirit, your divine masculinity. Each chakra in your body, represents the light, the divine masculinity. The kundalini, that dark force source energy that travels and suspends the chakras in their animation. That's your divine sacred. I mean, that's your sacred feminine. Okay, that's your sacred feminine. It is the thing y'all call it melanin or carbon 12. Okay, okay, that is the black hole. That is the substance of the universe right there. Now, this substance is what this body would not be able to exist without this substance, and without this substance, the soul would not be able to be suspended, be able to be grounded in the body. All right, this is a perfect universal balance, a perfect universal balance, and it all comes through you tapping into the greater is He that lives in me. All right, now when you're tapping to the greater is He that lives in me, the first thing you're going to realize is that you're not only tapping into the message, you're tapping into the messenger. Why? Because in order to tap into the greater is He that lives in me, you got to walk, talk, act, move, and do as best to your ability of what the messenger is doing, right? Or what the message is saying, sorry, of what the message is saying. And when you do what the message is saying, you by default become the messenger. You can't do what you're saying and not be a messenger of the message. Your lifestyle and your habits and the way you move will be the messenger of the message that you are living. You see? Exactly. So these are the things, and this is another way that we beat time. When you are being the message, you no longer have to wonder about if it's real or fake. You no longer have to wonder about, did they get it right or did they get it wrong? Why? Because you live the message and you know how to get it right. You know how to get it wrong. So you automatically know it when you see it or don't see it. Right? These are the ways that you defeat time. By tapping into the messenger as well as the message. Because we can hear a message all day. But does that mean we're going to follow the message to the letter? A lot of us most likely not. Right? Exactly. But there's a gift that comes with following a message to the letter, and it's called the messenger gift. You, by default, through the way you live, become the messenger of the message that you're living. You no longer have to say, "Hey, I'm the messenger with a message." All you have to do is keep living, and your message that you're living is going to be the messenger for you.
Yeah, it's in your essence. Yeah, how you living.
They call Prophet Muhammad the walking Quran.
Yep.
Right? The walking Quran, meaning he was so much perfect and upright in the message that the actual book, which is the message, he was the messenger, that he was so perfect that he was the walking book. Yeah. He was the walking, if the Quran can turn into, that's what they say the message is. The Quran can turn into a human being, it would be Prophet Muhammad, right? Exactly. This is what they say. So I tell people, man, no, there's a level of life where you get into a state of perpetual wins where losing is not an option anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Where losing is just a byproduct to an even greater win. So it's really not a loss. I'm not really losing.
Exactly.
Not even a lesson.
Okay.
It appears as a loss because it's disguising an even greater blessing. If I take the B off of lesson, I got lesson.
Bars. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's deep. Like the body is the temple. That's that's in the scripture. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you walk in the essence as, you reflect, the light that you want to be, exactly as your lifestyle. That's why it's called lifestyle. People, yeah.
Become the messenger by living the message. You feel me? That's the difference between being in the world and of the world.
Exactly.
Right? When you're in the world but not of the world, you are living a message you're living an entirely different message that the world is not speaking.
Exactly.
Right? The world is going this way, you're traveling and forging this path. They're by default creating your own world. You hear a lot of people say that, man, I be in my own world. I be in my own world. Let us visit your own world. Let's see how many people in your population in your own world. Exactly. Let's see what kind of economy is in your own world. Let's see what kind of ecosystem your own world running by. Let's see what kind of, let's see what's shaking in your world. Let's see what kind of health care they got in your world. Let's see what kind of welfare they got in your world. Let's see what kind of security they got in your world. Let's see
Mhm.
what kind of medical breakthroughs they got in your world. Let's see what kind of banking system they got in your world. You feel me? Let's see what kind of political system they got in your world.
Yeah.
What kind of black market and what kind of stock market do you have in your world? What kind of businesses and corporations do you have in your world? What kind of military do you have in your world? Because everybody be in their own world, but when you look for all of these things to see if they really in their own world, it's like, nigga, that ain't no world, nigga. What, you in a third world country?
Exactly.
See? So we got to understand, the properties of first world country etiquette. We're in a first world country. So if you truly are in your own world, you're gonna have the broad aspects covered. You might not have every aspect covered. You don't need every aspect covered, but you're gonna have the majority aspects
Exactly.
covered. And that's all that's needed. The majority. Major. That's it.
Mm.
As long as you're doing it major, everything else is gonna work itself out. You feel me? But this for all my big fish that's in small ponds. For all my big fish that's in small ponds, it's time for y'all to get up out of y'all small ponds and come see what's happening in this ocean, in these seas, in these rivers, in these, not these man-made lakes, but these God-made lakes. You
Exactly.
feel me? Yeah, man. And I guarantee you, man, you're gonna run across life that you didn't even know existed,
Yeah.
simply because you moved out of the pond and into the ocean.
Yeah. You said man-made lakes. China just tried to make a sun. You see that? They tried to make a sun.
Man, I think all Project Bluebeam CGI material.
Mhm.
I don't think they tried to make shit. I don't think they got. Listen, I think they. I think. I think that the government, that the places that we call the government, I think that they're so behind time that the propaganda is to confuse us, to make us think that they're ahead of time.
Exactly. They off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, governmental, government. They've been trying to govern our mental, and they've been succeeding, but not
Ooh,
everybody can
to
try.
govern our, to govern our mental. Ooh, man, that's deep. To govern our mental.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's what their number one job. That's their number one fucking
Yep.
uh purpose.
Exactly.
Like, if we can control your mind, then shit, that's a wrap, right?
Yeah, they control what's on TV. It's like, hey, we don't put certain stuff out. They censor you if you say something on IG. You can't say communist on IG.
But
I can't say it on
but
YouTube.
but, but yeah, you're on the phone with Chakra Doctor, but the whole thing is, I tell people, man, the reason why they're able to do that is because black people ain't coming together. Everybody together except black folks.
Exactly.
When I say folk, I'm talking about these American Negroes,
Oh yeah.
these American Negroids. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
It's time. It's and that's the main source of the situation. The main source of the situation is, yo, look. In the end, when it's all said and done, who's putting in the time, and what are you putting your time into that's going to determine your manifestation, right? Think about that shit.
Oh yeah, exactly. We wasting time. The phrase "wasting time." Like, yeah, you obviously just putting things into things that's not valuable. That's why some relationships, I'll call it from a distance. Like, nah, it's not long term right here. So let's just call it at the door. Let's call it at the door because you're gonna distract me from my path. Yeah, exactly.
And I was just talking to I was just in a meeting with someone, with a female, and I was talking about, and she was inquiring about her love life, and how I told her right now is not the time, the cards where, how it's not right now is not the time for you to begin with, right? Because either you're not eligible or they're not eligible. And the deeper the conversation got, right, the more I started hitting on the nail on the head, because the cards kept saying the same thing. You're not ready. You're not ready. It's not time. Not
Yep.
time. You're not ready. You're not ready. It's not time. Right? And that got me to thinking, how many times I wasn't ready when I
yeah.
thought I was, and
Oh,
how many, and I think that comes with actually getting it right. You have to go through that level of thinking that you got this to realize that you don't got this, so that you can know what it takes to get this, and then go back, recalibrate, and then go get that.
oh
You
yeah.
mean what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like,
Shoot. My last
so,
relationship, 2017. Been chilling. Yeah, focus on self. Yeah,
damn.
wasn't ready. Wasn't ready.
Ooh.
Dodging bullets. Like, oh, I ain't supposed. If I, nope. Dodging traffic. Yo, just excuse me. Yeah, man. It's been crazy.
Because hey man, when you're talking about that, you're talking about partners for life. Put that time into self.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That's the believe it or not, that will be one of your greatest times ever. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be it technically, if you want to be like, technically it is your greatest time ever, because when you put the time into yourself, that time reflects in your life and everywhere else and upon everyone else, and they get the best time out of you, right? Um, but technically, not even so that's technically, but officially, you're working on yourself so you can have all these other great times, like
Exactly.
raising children, getting married, taking adventures. So focusing that time on yourself, that's the greatest time you're going to ever spend, because it's going to allow you to have the true great time that you want to have, that you want to spend. We all want to go on a yacht. We all want to go on a jet. We all want to go and do this and that. We all want to own this and that. We all want to have this person by our side or that person by our side or with us. We all want to have this type of money in our bank account, drive this type of vehicle, have these many children or no children at all, right? And we all want to have these ideal places that we live and we eat, and these ideal foods that we eat, right? We all have these ideals of what life should be, right? And when you're analyzing from that perspective, you have to analyze, wait a minute, damn, that's a lot to choose from. That's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and all that time you're putting in yourself is just preparing you so that you can have a greater time in those things I just named, right? The whole purpose is making sure that when I do go out on a yacht, it's the greatest time I ever had on a yacht. When I do get married, it's the greatest time I ever had getting married, and being in relationships, and I'm about to ask you a question too. And you know when I do go and get my bank account, I want to have to get my bank account straight. I want to make sure I'm having the greatest time doing it. I don't want to make sure this shit like no slavery and ball and chain. Got to get no. I want to have the greatest time paying debt. Right? Why? Because I'm grateful for the person who allowed me to borrow and loan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, debit card. You know what I'm saying? You drop the I, it's a debt card. You know what I'm saying? Debit. Yeah, exactly.
So but my question is, what is your position on polygamy and poly and things of that nature? Because you say you've been, I don't know. What's your viewpoint?
Yeah, man. I definitely feel like I definitely love more than one woman, at a time, So I definitely understand and have a high understanding of, the poly lifestyle, and yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle, I'm not it. I definitely have a high understanding, and I'm not against it. Definitely not. And sometimes, even like as friends, I feel like have female friends, like they still, form, serve that same purpose. And then if not, definitely have relationships with multiple women. I think it could serve, it serves a purpose, having that structure. It's all about structure and foundation. So it's just a new way of finding the balance.
So you feel like doing it in a certain structured and balanced way will bring you to success?
I feel like that. Yeah, I definitely do. Because I feel like technically having multiple relationships, technically I've been poly already. I haven't been. I haven't been with more than, I've been with more than one woman. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, when you look at today's life, they're already living poly. They're just not calling it that. When they have these friends with benefits, or I'm just single and I'm mingling. You know what I mean? I'm dating. They call it dating, right? You know, I'm just dating this person. I'm dating that person, and I'm having sex with this person or that person. Um, that's basically, poly without the poly, because it's basically poly with all the, poly is basically like nigga lying or something, right?
Yeah,
But I guess poly is the open practice of it versus the behind doors practice of it, right?
exactly.
But you see these, so the reason why I say you see these dynamics because something like that takes time, right?
Yep.
Something like that, something like that takes time, and you'll see a lot of people right now. You see a lot of people right now in today's time doing what? Trying to portray something that they're not ready to live,
Oh yeah.
right?
One
Trying to
woman
get,
band. Yeah. Like Offset, for example. You got Offset and Cardi B, you know what I'm saying? He cheat on her every other.
and
You know?
why put yourself through that? Why put yourself through that? Why put yourself through that when you can create the life that you want?
No.
You see, that shows you that Offset just a nigga trying to get in where he can fit in.
Yeah.
He's not a pad dominator. He is not. He is not a pad dominator. He is not putting himself and asserting himself in a position of manhood. He's always putting himself in these positions of boyhood, where the things that he's doing is casting light on his immaturity and not his maturity,
Oh yeah.
right? Um, and that's what they put in front of us today is, for male role models, these young male boys.
Oh
They're
yeah.
not men.
They not
And
Little
yeah,
Uzi Verts, Young Thug, like all them trash
dudes,
rappers. Yeah.
dudes not men,
Yeah.
and but these are the male specimens that your daughters have to look forward to, man.
And shoot, like once again, like for example, like, yeah, men, we pull our pants up. Sagging has always been fagging to me.
Yeah,
Never. That's a that's their
some of
prerogative.
that's something like a lot of people wake up out of it. A lot of people don't. I used to be one that did the fucking thug thing, and back, but that's when the shit was baggy with no fucking sagging with no skinnies and shit like these niggas doing. These niggas, sagging with skinnies on. At least nigga had some baggy jeans and a baggy shirt, doing their little thing back in the '90s. But uh, I always tell people, we wake up from ignorance one day. Some of us just wake up quicker from it than others.
Yeah.
Some of us are ignorant though. That's another thing, man. You know, learn from the motherfuckers who died fucked up.
Bars. Yeah, man.
Yeah, learn from the motherfuckers who died all screwed up, man. Stop following that path, man. Cause that's that ain't the way to travel. That ain't the way to go. You feel me? So
Yeah, following's like following fools gold. Like, nah, that's not cool. Can't be, you know, definitely got to
yeah,
grow.
yeah, it's fool's gold because only a fool could acquire it.
Yeah.
Only a fool could get his hands on it.
Yeah, man. I guess, and then I'm so thankful to have brothers like you, brothers like Crumb. I'm 26. I'm technically still a young man. I'm in my prime. They said, but like I got mentors, and I feel like that's important for someone to grow into the knowledge and keep a strong keep studying on the path. But yeah, some people don't. But what you feel that's really dysfunctional or the problems in manhood, I say man against nonsense, what I'm saying. Dang, I broke down the hood before, but dang, I can't get it right now. I
All
broke
right,
down. You're gonna.
so hold on, you're saying you're asking me what's the problem with manhood in today's ghettos or in today's black
Yeah.
men and Dale?
Yeah, what's up with some of these brothers, and is it
They all,
disconnect, etc.
they they are being raised by females. How you gonna be?
Bar guy.
How, how you gonna be? How 80% of the population of males gonna be raised by females, but not act like the females they raised them?
Oh yeah, very emotional. You're gonna get very emotional brothers. Exactly.
Right.
It's gonna be emotionals over logic. That's logic to them, emotions. Yeah.
Right, and it goes to show you. It goes to show you that that war against the black male has succeeded when it comes to making sure that the black female, that the black baby doesn't grow up in a household with the black male and the black female. Um, that agenda has worked, and now the bulk of the carrying in the black community is in the woman's hands, and that's not fair.
Oh yeah,
Um, that's totally unfair. So it's a big agenda that has crippled the black community, but at the same time, through that crippling, we see what needs to be healed, and we can start adjusting. So you see a lot of women today are siding and getting with you know dominant alpha male species so that our children can be born so that more alpha men and more dominant male species can be born. Um, you'll see you can ask women of today's time that practice polygamy right now, and they tell you, hey man, I got what the dude I got with the dude I'm with because I wanted to make sure I had me a healthy, well-adjusted child that wasn't on no fuck shit like the rest of the society on.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's very, very important in a female's world. How children, right? Children and motherhood and raising children, and who is going to be the donator of sperm to create this life within me? That's a big, big that is a big thing in women's lives, right? And when when the women see, goddamn, there's a shortage in donors, they're
Exactly.
gonna go. I don't give a fuck. I don't. They're gonna go to the available, alpha males who are willing to donate. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? And so it shows you that right there in itself shows you that there's an imbalance in our black community, and we are adjusting to to basically to remove the imbalance. We have to basically like say, okay, well, if this many people are not being born, then we have to recalibrate it and get this many people born, right? Um, and they know it, they see it. Like, man, I'm not about to die no alone and childless in this bitch. I gotta get the pedal to the metal, right?
Exactly.
And like I told you before, she don't want no guy that's man. Woman don't really want no dude that's wearing no dress, getting fucked in his ass and all that shit. Like she don't, they don't really, really, truly, truly want that. They might accept that from a guy, but um,
Nah.
they don't want that. That's not their vision and what they envision of what
And
a what a what a pat dominating alpha man is. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and then yeah, these queens get with alpha mans and pretty much a man's man. For the short for alpha. That's always been AKA to me, a man's man. My grandfather was a man's man. He didn't talk much. He didn't need to, but when he talked, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's yeah, you got these women, want a man's man, but a man's man, he might, he might step out. You know what I'm
But
saying?
that
Hmm.
it's not that he might step out. He was born. A man's man was born to step out. A man's
Born to.
man
You said it.
um
Born to. Yeah,
was born and that was his programming. His programming is to make sure that life on earth is fruitful and multiplied. If the shoes on the other, like I teach, I sell people. If Mother Nature is the perfect template, right?
hmm,
Then why did Mother Nature create a way so a man can have 10 babies at one time, but a woman can only have one baby at one time?
exactly. Yep. Yeah, man.
Hmm?
Conscious are crazy.
Uh,
Yeah.
you ready?
On
You
it.
ready for some? Let's go to the examples of times that has been and come and gone from nature to human beings, right? There are plenty of examples of empires built through polygyny, which is a man having multiple wives. There are plenty of stories of the empires that were built from it. There is not one story of an empire built through a female that had multiple male suitors or multiple husbands. Not one.
Exactly.
There's not on earth ever in life of a kingdom of beta males who serve in a poly relationship with the one female. Because a man's why? There's one reason why. Because a man's programming is to be fruitful and multiply. And you're just one woman. You can only have one baby at a time. So let's say you got 10 wives, woman, 10 husbands, woman. You're only gonna be able to have one of their babies. The other 9 gonna feel left out and go get them a baby.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Exactly.
So think about that. The truth that's not the case for a man. A man can have as many women as he wants pregnant at the same time.
Oh yeah, crazy. Yeah.
This is a fact of nature that shows you something that Mother Nature was trying to leave to you behind a clue of how the race stays strong, how the race is dominant, and how the race stays in abundance upon the earth, right? But we have been taught European ways of living through the monogamy societies and through the societies, and these mono societies of European heights and depths have reprogrammed our mind into believing that the laws of nature don't apply anymore. And we're suffering the consequences of it. You see it in our divorce rates, and you see it in our unhealthy rates, our stress rates, anxiety, depression, all of these disorders. You see it simply because we are not abiding by nature as men, and women are not abiding by nature as women. And so analyzing these truths of nature from the perspective of nature, you have to realize and say, okay, wait a minute, we're violating nature. Nature is not doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
We're violating her. And so why would nature create women in more abundance than men?
Something to think about, exactly, because it's all by design. All by design.
Because it's fruitful and multiply. If you're going to be fruitful and multiply, we're going to need more X chromosomes than Y chromosomes.
Yep. Simple math, baby.
If it's going to be fruitful and multiply, we're going to need more angels than demons.
Yep. Yeah.
See, if it's going to be fruitful and multiply, we're going to need more. We're going to need more higher frequencies than lower frequencies.
Yep.
You feel me? But so what's the best way for nature to get that, to accomplish that? By creating more men than women. What's the next best way for nature to get to accomplish that? By making sure that she equipped the men and women with anatomies that says that the women who are more in abundance than men will be able to have and share that particular or those particular sets of men. Why? Because these sets of men come equipped and are able to handle these many amount of women. If a true man's man, a true man's man, dominant path alpha male God he's able to carry the load of 10 men. Why you think you see him getting so much done? You see one man trying to get one thing done and he's struggling to get one thing done. You see this other man getting 50 things done and he's still not tired. What is in this man that is in this man, but this man tapped into it and this man haven't?
Yep.
God body. We always say tapping into our God body. Well, if you're tapping into your God body, all gods are governors of kingdoms.
Yeah.
So we're going to call ourselves true gods, true kings, true princes on earth. Where are our kingdoms? Where is our establishments? Where is our economic groves? Where is our armies of patrons, right? This is, and the earth is going back to that. Remember, the matriarch governmental system has always been a poly system. Polytheist, we always been poly everything. There's never been a time where the sacred feminine wasn't poly. The sacred feminine never believed in, never ever expressed itself in a monotheistic or monogamy way. Never in life. That you can't find one. You can't find. Matter of fact, it's hard to even find any matriarchal governmental systems that haven't been removed or destroyed or hidden from society. But when you look at nature, you still see the matriarchal systems alive and affecting out in the animals and in the insects. And you see it dominated heavy. You see it dominated heavy with the females dominate the nature. Females dominating nature. But with that being said, the feminine concept, the feminine goddess principle, the feminine nature has always been a poly system. That's why in the time, white thing, in these times of the goddess energy in Aquarius, we're going, and you're seeing a lot of people are expressing, projecting multiple different religious beliefs, multiple different theosophical beliefs, multiple different philosophical beliefs, scientific beliefs, multiple different beliefs, poly. Well, those multiple different beliefs are not exempt from sex. Those multiple different beliefs are not exempt from relationships. Those multiple beliefs are not exempt from love. So everybody have their own way of believing in love. Follow your way of believing in love. Follow your way of believing in relationships. Follow your way of believing in whatever you believe in. But make sure that while you're following your way, just because somebody else not following your way, they're damned to hell.
Oh yeah, and crazy conversations. That's always a question I get, and I have to think about it. I have to sit on it. Like, Queens always randomly ask me, "Hey, what's your feelings on poly?" Like, I have nothing against it. I truly understand it. I mean, look at Nick Cannon. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I would never be a Nick Cannon. You'll never see me have 8 children, 6, 7, 8 children, about 4, 5 different women, and all of them. Man, nah, nigga.
Exactly.
Remember, a true man,
Exactly.
true alpha man values his time. His time. It's mathematically impossible for you to have all those children from all those different women and still serve and be a just father. Now, the only way it would work is if you was the king of Zamunda and you had the mansion and all 8 of your wives lived under the same roof with you. All 8 of your 10, 12, 30 children ate at the same
roof.
They got doing that there. You read about it in the Bible, throughout the Bible. You read it throughout the Quran. You read it throughout the Bhagavad Gita. You read it throughout times and histories and times and gone and time and spent of the men that had 12 wives in his mansion. And he had 43 sons and 23 daughters. Nigga, kingdom.
Exactly. We got to get back to the state.
And you see it slowly but surely,
Yeah.
You see us slowly but surely moving into that phase of life now, but it's because of the goddess frequency. The goddess frequency has always been a poly frequency. It's never been a mono frequency. That's what the 2 for. Remember, 2. The mono is 1. You see nigga throwing it up 1, 1, 1. No, that's man. But 2, when you're throwing up the 2 or the 2, right? That's talking about the female, the sacred feminine energy. They're throwing up that goat, the goat horn, that sacred. Then you throw now we're talking about that Trinity. Now you're throwing up that triangle offense.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That triangle offense right there. You feel me? That love gang. That's that triangle offense.
Love gang.
Yeah, all day, man. Love. Can't nothing beat love. You heard the Bible already told you. Can't nothing beat love.
Oh yeah. It's life's only valid expression. Love. Yeah.
Life's only valid expression. Backwards is spelled EVOL. Add a VE is evolve.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Happens in love, bro. So I know you got a lot of shit to do.
Oh, man, appreciate you, man. Definitely tapping in with you more. And I'm trying to handle my time correctly. I'm aware now. I'm gonna bend this month. Yeah, I'm bending now. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah.
Master time, master your life. Master the time, master your life, man. Remember, time is Satan. You are God.
Man.
If you're caught in the time and you're caught on the time and you're not having enough time, it's right now your life is very satanic. If you got control of time, you bend in time, you move in time, you wield in the power of time, your life is very godly. Only God can control the devil.
Woo. Man, bars. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Love gang. Definitely got to change the mentality. Definitely got to tap back into who we are and build these kingdoms, man.
Yeah, buddy. Great talk, man. I love it, man. Keep it going all day.
Appreciate you, man. Peace. Peace.